All right, everybody, welcome back. How many of you, and you can raise your hand in the car or the shower, I don't care, but how many of you detest salespeople? Like you avoid them at all cost. And you know, the types who just want to sell you on something without even first finding out a little bit about you to determine if whatever it is that they're selling, the solution that they're selling is even the right solution for you. I mean, you have to know what I'm talking about here, right? I mean, I remember, gosh, it was probably several years ago, maybe 10 years ago. I went in to go buy a car, and the car salesman, without even asking me. And by the way, I had three small children at the time and that were growing. Like, of course, all kids grow, but like my boys were growing fast. And he was trying to sell me on this small SUV because he just thought it was just me looking to buy a car because I was the only one out in the lot. No questions were asked. He had no clue that I had three small kids, two boys were growing fast, right? He just was trying to sell me on something, whatever the latest, greatest. I'm sure probably what he was making maybe more of a commission on that day, or they were having some sort of, sales contest or something like that to sell a mid-size or small SUV. And I'm in the market for a large SUV, right? Because I've got these three kids. And I remember just thinking to myself, going, dude, you don't even know what I need. And by the way, the stuff that you're sharing with me isn't anything that I would want anyway. And it really pissed me off. And I was just like, forget it. Like, I'm done. And how many of you have had these same experiences? I know that you have. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, we cannot use the same selling style for every customer and be successful every time. It just doesn't work that way, right? We all communicate. I know I've preached this a million times and I'll just continue to say it. We communicate how we want people to communicate with us. We receive communication differently than other people do as well too. Everybody is different when it comes to their communication style. And so whether you're managing a team or you're managing clients at the office, or even as a business owner marketing your business, the key is this. In order to get buy-in from your team or to sell to a customer, you must, this is all bold, all capped, underlined, highlighted in yellow. You must build trust and rapport. And the key is this, you've got to do it sooner rather than later. Okay, so how do you do it? You've got to understand the type of person that you're communicating with or messaging to, and you've got to speak their language, all right? In other words, you've got to learn what stresses and motivates them so you can meaningfully connect with them on a level to where it's like they want to work with you. They want to buy the thing that you have to offer them, okay? And when you learn to do this, that's when your team or your clients feel connected to you in a genuine, authentic way. You've built that trust and rapport, and then they want to work with you. Whether you're managing a team or you're trying to sell to a client or whatever, when you build trust and rapport, people want to work with you. That's how things work. That's how relationships work. So I teach my clients how to do this by using the DISC profile. The DISC is an easy four-prong approach to help you understand how to communicate effectively with various communication types so you have that winning conversation, okay? So here's the breakdown. Write this down. First of all, we have our dominant types of people. These people are results oriented and they move quickly. Be sure to keep the small talk to minimal because they're not interested. And you've got to stick to the task at hand and keep out of the emotions. How you identify these people are they ask very poignant questions, okay? They don't want the chit chat necessarily. They just want to get straight to the bottom line, okay? I know that you all have had clients who, when you're on the phone with them, they're like, just bottom line me, Jeff. Like, just give me the bottom line. They don't want the story. They want the bottom line. Those people are our dominant types. Again, they're very results oriented. Keep the stories to a very minimum, if at all, and just keep the conversation focused with the task at hand. That's all you've got to do. With our influencer type people, these people are the positive, upbeat, fun people that really don't like to be bogged down with details, okay? These people are going to share stories. They're going to ask you how your day was or ask you what you did this past weekend or whatever, but they're fun and energetic, right? So the more fun and energy that you can incorporate into the conversation, the better off you're going to be with these types, okay? Next, we have our steady relator type. These people are typically very laid back and they can be very indecisive as well too. So you've got to draw out their thoughts and opinions. And you've got to make sure that you've clearly defined all the areas of your product or service in order for them to make that decision. Here's the thing about these types of people. You cannot pressure them to make decisions quickly. They won't do it. Okay. And in fact, you'll turn them off. So you need to be very mindful. These types are typically going to be more introverted. You're going to have to talk to them. They'll smile at you. They're very warm people. They're people. Okay. So they're going to smile at you. But they are going to be a little bit more introverted in conversation. So you're going to have to draw out the conversation with them. Okay. But again, these types, you cannot pressure them to make choices and decisions quickly. You just can't. Okay. So our conscientious types of people, these people, they're introverted and they are only interested in data and facts, period, end of story. The more spreadsheets that you can give them, the happier that they are. They examine things very closely. They're going to ask for a ton of detail. Okay. They're going to have questions for clarification. And again, they're going to want all of the details that you can give them. If you've got handouts, if you've got brochures, if you've got a QR code that sends them to a web link to learn more information, those are the types of people who they're going to read any and all things. Okay. So you need to keep the personal and family talk out of the conversation and be sure to give them plenty of time to make a decision as well too. So the biggest difference between our steady relator personality types, those communication types, and our conscientious types, our conscientious types, again, they don't show much emotion. Okay, they're introverted. They don't show much emotion, whereas our steady relator types they'll show emotion, but they're introverted. Okay, so big difference there. So our conscientious types are going to walk into your office. They're probably not going to smile at you. They're going to want the facts. They're going to want the bottom line as well too. And you've got to give them plenty of data. You've got to give them all the spreadsheets that you've got in order for them to make that decision. Okay, so that is how we build immediate trust and rapport, is by quickly understanding and identifying those types of people that are sitting across the table from us, whether they're working with us in a team at our office or they're potential prospects who are looking to buy the service or product offering that you have for them. Okay, so I just want you to be mindful of how you go about identifying those people and how you message to them, because that's the key part here. Okay, so and I also want to plug in this. I am doing a training called Communication That Connects, and it is a training that teaches your people how to do just this, how to quickly identify those communication styles, how to sell to those particular communication styles, and how can we take that messaging, your unique style of messaging, how can we incorporate it into the digital space where we can connect with people that really, the types of people that you really want to work with, how can we do that in the digital space? And I'm going to teach you how to do it. If this is something that you're interested in, highly recommend you reach out to me on my website at www.heatherlisle.com, lisle.com, or reach out to me on LinkedIn or Instagram, and I'd be happy to have a conversation with you in the direct messages there, or just, connect with me on my website and we can talk about it there. But I'm telling you, I've already done so many of these trainings so far with countless salespeople and business people and organization leaders, and it is changing the way of how they're communicating with their client prospects. It's completely changing the dynamic. So if you're interested in this, we have got to get you on a schedule, and we've got to do this training for you. Okay. So that all being said, build trust and rapport. Build trust and rapport. It is the key to winning conversations. Until next time, my friend.